Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy out there. Times are different right now. Football season's looming in the air. The Dolphins may have 15,000 fans. We may not have a football season. I heard reports that the CFL is already shutting down and there will be no season. Hopefully, that's not the case with the NFL because it's fantasy football season. And everybody loves a competition with their family members. You got to bring home that dub, that trophy, bragging rights for the rest of the year. With that being said, I'm going to be running a mock draft simulator of all the NFL teams. I know we just recently saw the 2020 NFL draft. In full disclosure, I am a Giants fan. My backup team is the Broncos, so let that be known. That being said, I'm going to draft based off what I believe is the best value for each team for this upcoming draft in 2021. Now, a lot of time is going to happen between now and then, so things can change. So it's going to be cool to see how the mock drafts progress because right now I'll probably be extremely inaccurate. Maybe I'm right on some picks, but in the future, hopefully things coil out and we can actually see who's drafting what. That being said, San Francisco 49ers. Let's get it. So I'm just going to go ahead and set it up. Instead of the predictive board, I'm going to use the player rankings based off where they're at right now. And it should be interesting to see. Right off the bat, we see Trevor Lawrence going to the Jags. Now, at this point, you look at Minshew Mania. He's a good quarterback. But if you have the opportunity to draft Lawrence, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're making that pick and you're trading. You are making that pick and you're drafting him. We recently saw that Fournette's not going to be traded. But, if you can get draft capital towards the end of the year, I think we could see him being moved. That being said, let's get to it. So right off the bat, we're looking at the Niners, and they're going to be needing some safety, some cornerbacks, some interior linemen, the offensive tackle, the edge position, linebacker, the running back, and wide receivers. And then at this point, we look at the top player ranking. We got a tight end, and we know their best player pretty much on offense is George Kittle, which, he is a tight end, so that's not going to be a need. The main priority is safety, and this is where it gets challenging because I am a value man, and I am going off the number rankings and where they're currently at. Now, obviously, this is somebody's projection of what they believe they are, and this changes. But I see the need for linebacker, and the SEC is pretty well known for linebacking. And I just got to go with this pick right here, just on the value perspective. So Nick Bolton, Missouri. And it's always interesting to see because as you see these names pass through the mock draft, I'm not familiar with a whole bunch of them, and some of them I are. But every single year as the season progresses, you become more and more familiar with who they are. And the mock drafts, at this point, it's a crapshoot, just seeing who is the best. Who is the best? And granted, I forgot to mention, this is based off the Draft Network's mock simulation of the season and where everybody fits. So I want that to be known. So right here, right off the bat, I'm looking at the number one need we need is safety. And we have Richard from Georgia. Richard LeCounte III. Always pretty cool to get a number 3 on your jersey. Why not? I could have possibly been the 4th, but I avoided that. So right off the bat, I'm going to draft Richard. Now, we already know that the Niners are one of the most complete teams. Defense is fabulous. Arguably going to be the best defense next year. I really do think that the Broncos will have the best defense next year. Just that offseason they had has been fabulous to draft. Like I said, the Broncos are my backup team. But it's hard to beat what they did this offseason. You got Melvin Gordon, you got 2 Pro Bowls behind the line of scrimmage, you got a super athletic tight end, you already have an athletic tight end, you went out and get Jerry Jeudy. They're just crushing the game at this point. And look at that. Giants taking a tight end. Unbelievable. Hopefully Evan Ingram stays healthy and we keep him and we don't trade him or doesn't sign somewhere else. But we shall see. It's the Giants. So it's always super interesting to see these mock drafts. And it's a crapshoot. So looking at this, I'm an Oregon Ducks fan in college. Running backs in need. It's a little bit of a reach at that point right now. Now, when it comes to mock drafts, it's always interesting because every team has their unique needs. So you could see Kenneth He's ranked 106 right now from a value perspective for being a running back. Based off these experts' projections, he is the better value pick. Now, Verdell is a smaller back out of Oregon. Kind of fits that system. Could possibly be a Matt Breida replacement. At this point, I'm going to have to go with Verdell. I think Verdell's just the better pick right here. And I think Verdell's going to have a monster season. I think Oregon is really making moves. And they're a team to beat this year. And hopefully, they beat Ohio State, but we shall see. Hopefully the college season even happens. I think that's the biggest red flag right now. Is the college season even going to be happening? Oregon already announced that, they're restricting fans from the game. So it should be tough. Interesting times we live in, but life's a little bit better when you're able to do a mock draft. So right off the bat, cornerback. Got the interior line. Your defensive line at this point is your strength of your whole team. And you're looking at a cornerback perspective, and the SEC's defense has just been amazing. So I'm going to go with Roger. And right now, a lot of these names, I'm kind of wondering who they are. The first round, you're familiar with the names, but at this point, you're kind of figuring out who is who at this point. And we have seen, and the trends are showing that the SEC is producing defense, regardless of your beliefs or not. I am a Pac-12 fan. I do believe the Pac-12 is slept on. Overall, I do think the SEC does have better teams, but you can't be forgetting about Oregon or USC. Those are incredible teams. They are making a run for the national championship. They are in the spotlight now. They need to have more credit. So interior lineman, offensive tackle, and edge. Ooh. You got Nick Bosa off the edge. You got Armstead in the middle. He's not ideally, he can't really come off the edge, but he has that pass rushing presence. But at this point, if the top value pick based off these rankings is right here, and I got a need for edge, I'm going KJ Henry from Clemson. Clemson just produces amazing pass rushers. Now, by the way, this doesn't offer any sort of picks from trade compensation or losing players in free agency. So that makes it a little less fun. But as these picks become announced, it should be more fun because more picks, more trades, more action, and more excitement. Oh, last pick. And how are the Steelers going to be better than the Niners? I disagree with that 100%. You know what? Right off the bat, Josh Sills, West Virginia, offensive tackle. We just had a retirement on the line for the Niners. It should be good to see. So, once again, reviewing my picks, I went linebacker, safety, running back, corner, edge, offensive tackle. Offense is looking pretty good. They just recently drafted a receiver. You're going to need a replacement for an offensive tackle in free agency. You have some money. Signing Armstead is a lot of money. You lost to Forrest Buckner, but you're able to replace him by trading up to get that Colts pick. So, overall, the Niners in a really good position. Jimmy G is, he's a... if we're saying a 5's an average quarterback, he's probably a 6 at this point. You got an amazing team around you, so you don't really need the most talented quarterback. If Jimmy G continues to improve and gets better and better, the Niners are going to be the team to beat. The Ravens, we know they're going to be good. We know the Chiefs are going to be good, but the Niners, the Niners are they're just a complete team. We saw them in the Super Bowl absolutely dominating the Chiefs, and they do need to work on that late game finish, but we shall see next season. Hopefully we get some good games going. Hopefully you guys are going to have successful fantasy football seasons, get those bragging rights. Thank you very much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to leave some feedback on picks that you think were wrong, picks that are stupid, things that I should do differently. Once again, this is all my opinion, but there's always definitely opportunities to discuss, and we shall see how this draft plays out. All right, guys. See you guys in the next video. Have a good one.